What's good, everybody, and welcome back to an entry to Breath of the Wild movement. This is going to be the advanced video, so we are almost at the end of the series, so let's get right into it. A burn timer reset is done by performing a spin attack with a heavy weapon as soon as you catch on fire, and this is useful if you are inside Death Mountain or anywhere you can be stuck on fire, and you need to reset the timer. Camera walking is done by locking your camera with a shield equipped so that your shield is facing outward, and then you need to crouch, side hop left or right while pressing the camera rune button. If you do that all at the same time, you should be walking around with the camera rune activated, and this looks pretty cool. Shield Surf durability extension is done by shield surfing, unequipping your shield, and then re-equipping it before you land. And it's used so you don't waste durability when you get the Skew. Sideways shield surfing is done by jumping, going to throw your weapon with the right button, and then inputting a shield surf. This doesn't have too much use, but it looks cool. Extended skew clipping is done by performing a skew clip, and then watching for the frame not where your skew is the strongest, but the frame right after that. And then once you see that frame, enter the inputs for the shield surf while still in the shield menu, and then unequip your shield and keep performing the shield surf over and over again. The bomb setup skew clip is done by first lining up with the wall, jump placing your bomb, backflipping twice, shield parrying 3 times, and then shield surfing on top of the bomb and immediately jumping. Now after the jump you want to unequip your shield, keep the D-pad menu open, and then perform another skew clip like you would an extended skew clip. And if you've done this right, you should go through a wall. Menu desyncing is done by dropping 4 or 5 multi-shot bows with shock arrows out. You do this by having the shock arrows being held out by Link, entering your inventory and dropping the bow, selecting a new one, and then repeating this like 3 or 4 times. Once you've done this, Link should disappear in your inventory, and that's how you know you've done the trick right. Hold smuggling can be done by desyncing your inventory and then holding an item. This can be used for things like dyeing armor without having to spend some of the more expensive materials. The flying machine is a pretty specific movement glitch, but if you pull it off, it is pretty fun and it can get you pretty far. There's a couple locations you can do this at, but you need to find a location where you can use 2 of these minecarts. There's one in Hyrule Castle and there's a couple around Death Mountain. The location I'm showing you is going to be from Goron City. Fast travel to Goron City and then ride the minecart over to this area and the other minecart. You want to position the minecarts so that the lantern is facing you on one of the minecarts, and then when you go to place the other minecart, you want to have it set up so that it's facing the opposite way, and when you place it you can see the wheels somewhat sticking off the end of the lower minecart. When you're ready, stand on top of both minecarts and magnesis the bottom one. When you get liftoff, you want to lift up very gently if you're using gyroscope, or you want to tap up on the D-pad very lightly and very infrequently, because if you do any too intense of a sudden movement, the flying machine has a high risk of breaking. Now, the general rule for staying on top of the flying machine and not having it break on you is to stay in the middle and just go slow and safe. You will get a hang of it eventually. A lot of it is just learning how this glitch works. Moonjump state is a glitch where you can, well, jump in an infinite amount of times. To activate this glitch, you're gonna need a horse. So if your horse was dead like mine, go revive it and we will get right into this trick. So you want to come down here to the archery minigame and start the minigame. As soon as the minigame starts, you want to turn around and head up this hill. You want to face these horses, and then when the timer reaches 15 to 10 seconds, you want to jump off. And you want to have it set so when the minigame is ending, a horse is trying to kick you off. If you've done this correctly, when the minigame ends, Link will be bouncing on top of a horse, and you can hit B twice and you will be stuck in this weird animation on top of the horse. Once you're in this animation, you can just fast travel away and the game will permanently think you're in a grounded state, and you can jump an infinite amount of times during this. Some things to note in this glitch are the only ways to pull glider out are through Rivali's Gale or a hopback strike. If you go to shield surf and pull out paraglider during this, you don't lose any velocity going up slopes, so you can climb cliffs this way. But if you cancel out of this, you will be stuck in a animation that you have to swap cancel out of. Also be careful not to touch water in this mode because it will make it so you can't regen any more stamina, and make sure not to touch any walls because it'll slow you down to a walk, although this can be fixed by holding an item. And with that, that is going to be the end of today's episode. If you liked today's video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have something to tell me, make sure to tell me in the comments below. If you have any issues with today's glitches, make sure to check the description because I always have written inputs in there too. I also did this series for combat glitches, so check that out as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.